Our state to be disjointed and out of frame, colleged with the dream of his advantage, he hath not failed to pester us with message, importing the surrender of those lands lost by his father with all bounds of law to our valiant brother. So much for him. Now for ourselves and for this time of meeting, thus much the business is. We have here writ to Norway, uncle of young Fortinbras, who, impotent and bedrid, scarcely hears of his nephew's purpose, to suppress his further gait herein, in that the levies, the list, and full proportions are all made out of his subject. And here we dispatch you, good Cornelius, and you, Voltimand. Forbears this greeting to old Norway, giving you no further personal power to business with the king, more than the scope of these dilated articles allow. Farewell, and let your haste command your duty.
In that and all things, we will show our duty.
My dread lord, your leave and favour to return to France, from whence thou have willingly have come, I came to Denmark, to show my duty in your coronation, yet now I must confess that my thoughts and wishes bend again towards France, and bow them to your gracious leave and pardon. He hath, my lord, wrung from my slow leave by laboursome petition, and at last upon his will I sealed my hard consent. I do beseech you, give him leave to go.
Thy fair hour, Laertes, and time be thine, and thy best graces spended at thy will. Now, my cousin Hamlet, and my son.
A little more than kin, and less than kind.
How is it the clouds still hang on you?
Not so, my lord. I am too much in the sun.
Good Hamlet, cast thy knighted colours off, and let thine eye look like a friend on Denmark. Do not forever with thy veiled lid seek for thy noble father in the dust. Thou know'st 'tis common, all that lives must die, passing through nature to eternity.
Ay, madame, 'tis common.
If it be, why seems it so particular with thee?
Seems, madame? Nay, it is. I know not seems. 'Tis not alone my inky cloak, good mother, nor customary suits of solemn black, nor windy suspirations of forced breath. No, nor the fruitful river in the eye, nor the dejected avour of the visage, together with all forms, moods, shapes of grief that can denote me truly. These indeed seem, for they are actions that a man might play. But I have that within which passeth show, these but the trappings and the suits of woe.
Stubbornness. 'Tis unmanly grief. It shows a will most incorrect to heaven, a heart unfortified, a mind impatient, an understanding simple and unschooled. For what we know must be and is a common, as any most vulgar thing to sense. Why should we in our peevish opposition take it to heart? Fie! 'Tis fault to heaven, a fault against the dead, and a fault to nature. 'Tis to reason most absurd, whose common theme the death of fathers, and whose hath cried. From now, first course till he that died today. This must be so, we pray you, throw to earth this unprevailing woe, and think of us as a father, for let the world take noise. You are the most immediate to our throne, and with no less nobility of love than that with dearest father bearest this son. Do I impart towards you, for your intent in going back to school in Wittenberg is most retrograde to our desire, and we beseech you bend you to remain here in the cheer and comfort of your eye. Our childless courtier, cousin, and our son.
Let not thy mother lose her prayers, Hamlet. I pray thee, stay with us, go not to Wittenberg.
I shall in all my best obey you, madame.
Why, 'tis a loving and fair reply. Be ourselves in Denmark, madame. Come, this gentle and enforced accord of Hamlet sits smiling in my heart, in grace whereof no jocund of health that Denmark drinks today, but the great cannon in the clouds shall tell, and the king's ruse in the heavens shall brew it again. Re-speaking earthly thunder come away.
Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew. Or that the everlasting had not fixed his can and get self-slaughter. Oh God, how weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world. Fie unto fie, 'tis an unweeded garden that grows to seed. Things rank and gross in nature possess it merely. That it should come to this, but 2 months dead, nay, not so much, not 2. So excellent a king that was to this. Hyperion to a satyr, so loving to my mother that he might not beteem the winds of heaven visit her face too roughly. Heaven and earth, must I remember, why she would hang on him, as if increase of appetite had grown by what I fed on. And yet, within a month, let me not think on't. Frailty, thy name is woman. A little month or ere those shoes were old with which she followed my poor father's body, like Niobe all tears. Why she, even she, oh God, a beast that once discourse of reason would have mourned longer, married with my uncle, my father's brother, but no more like my father than I to Hercules, within a month. Ere yet the salt of most unrighteous tears had left the flushing in her galled eyes, she married, O most wicked speed to post with such dexterity to incestuous sheets. It is not, nor it cannot come to good, but break my heart, for I must hold my tongue.
Hail to your lordship.
I'm glad to see you well. Horatio, or do I forget myself?
The same, my lord, and your poor servant ever.
Sir, my good friend, I'll change that name with you. And what make you from Wittenberg, Horatio? Marcellus?
My good lord.
I am very glad to see you. Good even, sir. But what, in faith, make you from Wittenberg?
A truant disposition, good, my lord.
I will not hear your enemies say so, nor shall you do mine ear that violence, to make a truster of your own report against yourself. I know you are no truant, but what is your affair in Elsinore? We'll teach you to drink deep ere you repart.
My lord, I came to see your father's funeral.
I pray thee, do not mock me, fellow student. I think it was to see my mother's wedding.
Indeed, my lord, it followed hard upon.
Thrift, Horatio. The funeral baked meats did coldly furnish forth the marriage tables. Would I have met my dearest foe in heaven, or ever I had seen that day, Horatio? My father, methinks I see my father.
Where, my lord?
In my mind's eye, Horatio.
I saw him once. He was a goodly king.
He was a man. Take him for all in all. I shall not look upon his like again.
My lord, I think I saw him yesternight.
Saw? Who?
My lord, the king, your father.
The king? My father?
Season your admiration for a while, with an attent ear, till I may deliver, upon the witness of this gentleman, this marvel to you.
For God's love, let me hear.
2 nights together had these gentlemen, Marcellus and Bernardo, on their watch, in the dead fast and middle of the night, been thus encountered. A figure like your father, armed at point exactly, cap up high, appears before them, and with a solemn march goes slowly and steadily by them. Thrice he walked by their oppressed and fear-surprised eyes. Within his truncheon's length, with they distilled almost to jelly with the act of fear, stand dumb and speak not to him. This to me, and dreadful secrecy, in part they did. And with them, the 3rd night we kept watch, where as they had delivered both in time, form of the thing, each word made true and good. The apparition comes, I knew your father, these hands are not more like.
But where was this?
My lord, upon the platform where we watched.
Did you not speak to it?
My lord, I did, but answer made it none. Yet once methought it lifted up its head and did address itself to motion, like it would speak. But even then the morning cock grew loud, and at the sound it shrunk in haste away, and vanished from our sight.
'Tis very strange.
As I do live, my honored lord, 'tis true, and we did think it right down in our duty to let you know of it.
Indeed, indeed, sirs. But this troubles me. Hold you the watch tonight?
We do, my lord.
Armed, you say?
Armed, my lord.
From top to toe?
From head to foot.
And you saw his face?
Oh yes, our lord, he wore his beaver up,
Looked he frown,
a countenance more in sorrow than in anger.
pale or red?
Nay, pale
And fixed his eyes upon you?
most constantly.
I would I had been there.
It would have much to amaze you.
Very like, very like. Stayed it long.
While one with moderate haste might tell 100.
Longer, longer.
Not when I saw it.
His beard was grizzled, no?
It was, as I have seen in his life.
It was, as I saw in his life, a sabled silver.
I will watch tonight. Perchance 'twill walk again.
I warrant it will.
If it assume my noble father's person, I'll speak to it, though hell itself should gape and bid me hold my peace. I pray you all, if you have hitherto concealed this sight, let it be tenable in your silence still. And whatsoever else shall have tonight, give it an understanding, but no tongue. I will requite your lovers, so fare you well, upon the platform twixt 11 and 12.
Our duty to your honor.